I just want to say thank you so much to the donors that made it possible for me to come on this course. And the reason I signed up for this course is because I'm starting my own children's ministry back in Idaho, where I'll be working with children from 3 to 16 and in an outdoor setting with Christ focus. So it'll be Christ at the center, then community, and then activities. And so one of the things I learned in this course is how to incorporate all of that with everything always centering back to Christ again. Some of the things that I learned on this course were some of the leadership lessons that I might want to incorporate into my nonprofit. I also learned how to deal positively with personality differences as that leader, and how to help those different personalities be incorporated and work as a team, which I think also leads back into how do you grow as a leader. The more knowledge that you have and experience that you can glean from others, that helps you to be a more effective leader, a more respected leader, and a leader who can be more attuned to the dynamics of the group, to their learning speeds and capabilities, in their lack of knowledge about Christ, perhaps, and just the different self-awareness pieces that will help them to continue to grow in their Christian walk and become disciples of others, which also is relevant for how do I become a better disciple of Christ. I believe that leading by example is one of the best ways to do that. And if everything that you do is focused on Christ and teaching others about Christ, then you're being a true disciple in your everyday walk. I think one of the most impactful parts of the course was the Wilderness Ministry Professionals section. That was so impactful to me because of all the lessons and the deeper introspection pieces that they taught us how to use, and things that I had never heard of before, like the Emmanuel journaling, which I have never done before or even heard of, but it really helped to listen to God and maybe what he was saying to me or for me to say to others. I would say that whole lesson system in the WMPC was the most impactful part of my summer. One moment when I felt closest to God was probably after telling our stories. I have a difficult story, and it was only the third time I've ever told it in my life. And just the acceptance of the group and the compassion, perhaps, that I felt that we were a community, and not that they looked at me differently because of my childhood, but maybe they were more understanding of some of my personal oddities, like not liking to hug other people. And they really just helped me to grow past that and not think of my story as something that I don't want other people to know, but more something that helps me help other people, which is how I've always looked at it, but not in the capacity of sharing it. And that opened up other doors for conversations within the group of things that they had gone through, and the discussion of, how did I lean on God in those times, and how that helped me to have a positive relationship with God, knowing that he would always protect me from everything. And so I think I definitely felt closest to God in that moment, where he kind of protected me from my own thoughts and worries about how my story was going to be received. And he just made it more palatable and less frightening and scary to tell that story. My I am statement, it basically is based on the story of Jesus and Peter, when he called Peter and Andrew to come and follow him, and they just dropped their nets, walked away from everything to do what Jesus asked them to do. So my I am statement is that I am a follower of Christ first, and a fisherman, wife, mother, and friend second. Everything that I do, I want to focus on Christ and have him leading me in that. and everything else will follow naturally because I have my focus and my center in the place that it needs to be. I believe that my top 3 upgrades are probably being aware or attuned to the whole group. I believe that oftentimes you get attuned to the problems in the group or the people who need the most attention. And I want to continue to grow in the area of making sure I'm attuned to everybody, especially the quieter people that don't cause a problem, because they might be the ones that need the most attention. And I believe it's important to be consistent across the board and make sure that everybody's needs are paid attention to. I believe the other upgrade is just in a leadership role, knowing when you need a break and knowing when you can push a little further or a little harder. Andrew Arnold was amazing in that capacity, and he saw when the group was tired as a whole or a majority, and he would just change the format accordingly, because you can't learn if you're exhausted and you can't learn if you're overloaded. So I want to continue that in my ministry and just be aware of the flexibility that's sometimes needed in a wilderness setting. My third upgrade would be maybe just the patience piece. Everyone's not going to learn at the same speed. They're not going to be able to hear what you're saying at the same speed, and they're not going to be overloaded at the same speed. So I believe just a patience in that process, which is something I've been working on for the last year. I think I'm a pretty patient person, but we can all do better. And so that's definitely something I want to continue to grow in and work on the flexibility needed with that patience so that everyone has the best experience they can with what they come to the table with. And so just again, I wanted to thank Ann Brady so much for the scholarship and the opportunity to come and do this summer. I feel like God placed me here this year specifically for some of the other students that I met on the 40 who I'm going to be able to bring into my ministry and help them with the next step of their life. And the amazing people at SROM who I never would have met if I didn't come, because it's a different group of people every year. And it has just been an amazing summer, and I just wanted to thank you again very much for that opportunity and for the joy of being here. Thank you.